Hello everyone and welcome back to Age Nagash, channel dedicated to Age Sigmar. Now, this video is going to be about the Carrion Empire preview for the new model. So if you go on the Warmed community site, I'm sure you guys, some of you probably already seen it by now, there is a new article detailing the new characters for the Fleshy Courts and the Skaven. Fleshy Court 1 obviously being the Arch Regent and the Skaven being the Bombardier. So I've only just sort of seen this, like I said, just basically saw it on Facebook and someone shared a link and I was like, I'll better crack on with this. So I'll be reading it like the last one for the first time. So let's get into the article. So it says that Carrion Empire is almost upon us, and so to help you get hyped, we're previewing the set and the new Chaos Battletome Skaven and the Death Battletome Fleshy Courts throughout this week. So that's awesome to hear. So we thought we might probably get a preview and stuff this week. I think they might have already mentioned it before. However, it's good that that's nice and confirmed. That will mean that it'll affect the archive series I'm doing, like going through all the armies or that sort of thing. I know I started Wanderers. However, this week will basically just be dedicated to the Carrion Empire as we get those previews, and I'll be trying to make those videos as often as I can. Right, okay, so going back to the article, it says we're kicking off our previews with a sneak peek at the rules for the new characters exclusive to the Carrion Empire Battle Box, as well as looking awesome. Both have a lot to offer your army. Okay, that's cool. Also, it says exclusive to the Battle Box, so like we see a lot of the time when these sort of like joint army battle boxes come out for Age of Sigmar, the sort of the characters aren't able to buy separately. This is just basically confirmed that they're not going to be able to be bought separately for a while as well from Games Workshop anyway. Okay, and then going on to the Warlock Bombardier, who they start with. They say, who is he? Warlock Bombardiers are Skaven who have dedicated their awful lives to blowing things up. They have forgotten more about blowing stuff up than you will ever know. If the clan squire ever need anything blown up, which is always, these are the guys they get to do it. So looking at the model again, obviously put pictures and stuff in the thing. Sure, you guys already seen it. You know, it's a Skaven with loads of rats running around him with an RPG. What is there not to love? And it says, how does he work? So on the tabletop, Warlock Bombardiers are masters of range warfare, providing magical missile support to clan squire. Like other Warlock engineers, they're able to smite enemies with deadly warp lightning. Okay, so going into warp lightning, which is a spell. It says warp lightning has a casting value of 5. If successfully cast, pick an enemy unit within 12 inches of the caster visible to them. That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Before making the casting roll, you can say that this model will use its warp power accolator to augment the spell. I think that's how you pronounce those words. So it says, if you do so, the casting attempt is successful and not unbound. The spell inflicts D6 mortal wounds instead of D3 mortal wounds. However, if you do so and the casting attempt fails or is unbound, this model suffers D6 mortal wounds. Okay, so this reminds me a lot of the Arch Warlock's Warp Lightning. Instead of the Arch Warlock's one's a 18 range spell. And also, as far as I read it, it's only if you fail to cast it, it does the mortal wounds to you, rather than if the enemy unbinds it. That might change in the battle tome, because obviously, you know, war scrolls are subject to change, especially when they get a new battle tome. However, this looks very similar to that one, but you know, being able to do this spell as well to do mortal wounds to the enemy, potentially D6 mortal wounds, is big. Especially how, you know, you can't cast the same spell more than once. Okay, and then going on to the next bit, it says where the Warlock Bombardier really shines is particularly in the shooting phase, when he blows enemies apart with the Doom Rocket. So we have the stats of Doom Rocket. It says missile weapons, Doom Rocket 18-inch range, 1 attack, force to hit, freeze to wound, -1 rend, and D6 damage. Okay, so that is obviously pretty good. It says if you're willing to take the risk, you'll be able to overload the Doom Rocket, allowing you to obliterate enemies provided you don't obliterate yourself first. So what's it talking about? Go on to the ability here. It's called More Doom Rocket. So before you make a hit roll for an attack with a Doom Rocket, you can say that the engineer has overloaded the warhead. If you do so, the damage characteristic for that attack is 2d6 instead of d6. However, if you do so and the unmodified hit roll is a 1, that attack fails and the model suffers 2d6 mortal wounds. Absolutely fantastic. This is what I basically said I wanted this in this model. I think I said something along the lines of it doing like D6 more wounds, but if you roll a 1, you take D6, something along those lines. But it's a little bit different, but it's exactly what I wanted. The risk reward with the Skaven is huge, and then especially unless you're taking down something that has very little amount of wounds or very few models in the unit, you're not really going to pass up. Well, I'm not going to pass up the chance to do 2d6 damage to the enemy. You know, why the hell would you pass that up? And that is how you've got to play the Skaven. So more Doom Rocket has got a massive thumbs up for me. It's what I really wanted from this model, and it's great to see. A little bit ashamed about the spell. I mean, it's not a bad spell, but just like almost feels like a copy and paste of the last one, and it's a little bit weaker than the Archer Warlock. But you know, at least he's a caster. Also, another thing to note with this person is that it says always helps out, you know, Clan Squire army. So I'm sure you guys probably thought this already, but he is going to be, you know, a Clan Squire hero. So I have the keyword for that. Right, and then going on to the Abhorrent Archregent, who is obviously going to be my favourite out of the two. Just, you know, I love the Skaven one, but, you know, like I've always said the Flesh Eater Court's my baby, so here is a new one for me. And then he says, who is he? So, the Abhorrent Archregent is the supreme leader of any given Flesh Eater Court. Ghoul Kings are, as their name suggests, monarchs. This guy is akin to an emperor and a lord over a vast domain. Centuries old, Abhorrent Archregents are horrifically strong and cunning, and their utter dedication to their delusion is resilient enough to bind together the fractious kingdoms of their kin. Right, now, how does he work? So the Abhorrent Archregents are the ultimate support unit in the Flesh Eater Court's army. Well, that's a big thing to say, so we'll see about that. Okay, so while they're deadly combatants in their own right, where they really shine is in the hero phase, thanks to a superb spell and command ability. So, Ferocious Hunters lets you increase the attacks of a nearby unit up to 3. Cast it on a sufficiently massive horde of criticals, and you'll be able to turn your foes into a fine red mist. Okay, so let's see what the spell does. So, Ferocious Hunger. So, Ferocious Hunger has a casting value of 6. Successfully cast, pick a friendly Flesh Eater Court unit wholly within 23 inches of the caster, so massive range there, and visible to them, and roll a d3, add the roll to the attack characteristics of melee weapons used by that unit until your next hero phase. Okay, that is the loveliest thing I've fucking heard for ages. Right, okay, so as I've mentioned, I love taking elite like Cryptora armies, flare arms and stuff, but what I said about the Cryptoras, and I've always mentioned this in quite a few videos already, how I find the Cryptoras are better than the flares, because they're high damage attacks, and obviously you put Dark Hunger on them from the Abhorrent Ghoul King, gives them the extra attacks, and they're making 4 attacks each. This guy, they'll be making at least 5 attacks, you put both those spells on them, and they can make up to a maximum of 7 attacks, reroll on all failed hit rolls, because you have a Ghoul King within 15 inches. As long as that doesn't change to wholly within 15 inches, that would be an absolute pain in the arse if it does. Something to bear in mind. But anyway, so reroll on all failed hit rolls. You get a zombie dragon behind the unit, like I do. You get a big unit. I get the zombie dragon parked behind, and he gets Feeding Frenzy off. He's also going to allow the models within, I think, 10 inches of him, reroll failed wound rolls. And then no rend, 2 damage. However, they roll a 6 to wound, it does 3 damage. And you have the potential of getting this up to 7 attacks. Yes, that is the best case scenario, but that is really, really, really good. I mean, my horrors already are devastating. As long as you don't go against things like, you know, Stormcast Terminals with 2 upstage rolling 1s or 3 upstage rolling 1s even, can make it a very much uphill battle for the horrors. But however, most things don't have that. And like I say, it's saying like, you know, put them on Crypt Ghouls. And yeah, Crypt Ghouls are, you know, of course they're good, because they've got loads of attacks and it gives them more attacks. However, would you rather give 3 extra attacks to a unit that does 1 damage, or a unit that does minimum 2 damage, potentially 3? I know which one I'd rather do, and that means that it's really sort of showing me my support for, well, it's showing me that I've got support for still running in elite Flesh Eater Court armies. I look forward to seeing if there's new battalions to the Cryptoras as well to make this even better. You know, maybe they get pluses still wounds somehow, you know, like just make the unit even better, worth taking. However, something to note about the Flesh Eater Courts, unless this changes when they have the battle time come out, which could be, they're not the most heavy on magic, you know, army there is. And we're not saying that in a bad way, because, you know, they're better than magic than quite a few other armies. However, you know, like if they go against a Zeech army or a Legion of Nagash army or one of those sort of armies, you're probably not going to get your spells off. You're probably just going to get shut down all the time. But, you know, those are just extreme scenarios, and they're just ones you're going to come across to go to tournaments. But however, like I say, Cryptors, 7 attacks now, hitting on 4s, reroll on all failed hit rolls, win on 3s, you get that Feeding Frenzy off, get the plant the Zombie Dragon behind them, reroll on failed wound rolls are 6 do 3 damage. If normal wound rolls, they do 2 damage. Of course, like I say, that's the best case scenario, and that's not going to happen probably that often, because a lot of things have to be in place, and if the enemy unbinds a spell, it could be really none. However, the spell only casts on a 6. A 6. I mean, this is amazing. Absolutely love this. Okay, so going on to his what looks to be his command ability. So it says Summon Imperial Guard. Meanwhile, is unique among Flesh Eater Court's command abilities in the choice it offers. So it says you'll be able to pick a supporting courtier. So this is your it doesn't say this here, but you know, a courtier. So that's your you got a little Crypt Ghoul courtier. Can't remember what it's called. You've got your Crypt Haunter courtier, your Horror one. You've got your Encrypt Infernal courtier, your Crypt Flare one, and then you've got your Vargolf courtier, which is this guy can bring on a Vargolf courtier without you having to basically pay a Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon's points to get a Vargolf for free. This guy's going to be a lot better, because I reckon this guy's going to be anywhere between 100 to 200 points, probably somewhere in the middle, I'd say. So anyway, you can bring on a courtier or a heavily hitting unit of knights, which is your Cryptores, obviously, or your Cryptores, or a horde of serfs, don't know that word seems, so a horde of soldiers. That's your Crypt Ghouls to suit your purposes. Okay, so that's really good. So, which was quite cool about the, you know, your Abhorrent Ghoul Kings before. It's like, okay, well, if I want to bring my, you know, free unit of 10 Crypt Ghouls in the new edition, just bring an Abhorrent Ghoul King, you know, 140 points to do that. Or you take command traits and stuff to make your other guys do it. Or you just bring your, you know, Abhorrent Ghoul King on a Zombie Dragon for a courtier, or your Abhorrent Ghoul King on a Terrorgeist to bring in your so-called knights. So, you know, your Crypt Flares or your Crypt Horrors. So yeah, it's awesome. This guy gets to bring on whichever one he wants, you know, to suit the situation. I presume it'll work by the same mechanics how it works before. So the first time you summon something on, it's free. After that, it's going to cost you, you know, you're going to basically put aside army points to be able to bring it on, which is absolutely fair enough. And then it says you'll be able to pre-order the Abhorrent Archregent and the Warlord Bombardier in the Carrion Empire this weekend. In the meantime, let us know what you plan on using them for, blah 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 blah. So yeah, really good here. I can't even, so let me put my thoughts together. Right, the Archregent, when it said that this guy is going to you know, be the ultimate support unit in the Flesh Eater Court's army, like I said when I said it a few minutes ago, that's going to be quite a big point to prove. However, he manages to do it with that spell alone. I mean, I'm more excited about the spell than the command. The command bit is awesome, because it means that I might not have to bring a Abhorrent Ghoul King on a Zombie Dragon if I can't afford the points. I just bring this guy to bring on my Vargolf for free. You know, this guy might even be cheaper than a Vargolf, but I doubt it. I think this guy is probably going to be quite expensive. I think it'll be about 180 points or something, just because if you can bring in a, you know, Vargolf or something. Something to note here though is obviously his spell is hold within 24 inches. That is a good range. But with the holy thing, I feel like this battle tome, like a lot of the new battle tomes, if not all the new battle tomes, all the abilities are now going to become holy, which, like I say, making sure you have Abhorrent Ghoul Kings within 15 inches of your ghouls or your Cryptors to allow those rerolls or hit rolls. That's really easy to do. Now, not so easy. I tend to only run one big unit of like Cryptors anyway, so I can sort of dedicate that Abhorrent Ghoul King to do that job. Not really too much of a problem, but just bear in mind everything now is probably going to be wholly within ranges, and that'll be the same with the Skaven. So going back to the Skaven, going to his spell as a start, something which isn't so nice as that is quite a lot more risky now than it used to be. And also, you pick an enemy unit within 12 inches, so not the 18 inches of the Arch Warlock, and they might change his spell to be this one as well. So it might become worse, and there's a good chance that. And something that annoys me a little bit is it's within, you know, 12 inches, not within 13 inches. What I really would have liked, and hope that's not something we're going to see in the new battle tome, how they get rid of the all, you know, 13 inches fluffing the Skaven had going on, just make it 12, just to make it, I don't know, lack of a better word, you know, just more balanced, which I don't think is really much of a problem. Just that extra inch just made the army so much more flavoursome in the game. And yeah, so right, looking at these both things, yeah, the Bombardier looks really good. However, you know, because I'm going to say it because I think the model looks awesome. The Abhorrent Archregent is definitely something I'm going to be putting in my army. It's not something I'm going to buy this box and be like, I'll make the model and paint it because it's cool and then I won't use it. I will definitely use this guy. as far as I can see from how I play my armies so far. Obviously, that is subject to change when I get a look at the battle tone. And so yeah, that's all in this article pretty much. Like I say, super excited. Some things, you know, some changes I don't like, but most of overall I do. And to be honest, this Arch region, I don't think he'll be this good in the game, but he is absolutely awesome. They also say something along the lines like he's all right, you know, in he can handle himself in combat. I doubt that very much. He's probably just going to be an aberrant Ghoul King, you know, attacks. But even if so, I imagine this guy's got what, 6 wounds, and he's probably going to have, even if the same attacks as the aberrant Ghoul King, be happy. So that's like 6 attacks, freeze and freeze monsters around 1 damage. It's not bad. I'll be really happy if he has the same ability, which is Royal Blood, which allows him to heal D3 wounds in the hero phase as an abhorrent Ghoul King does. And then going on to the Bombardier. Just in case you guys are wondering with the whole thing, he can take 2d6 more wounds. Does that mean he's going to have like more than 6 wounds or something? No, I doubt it very much. I'm pretty sure this guy is going to have 5 wounds. And, you know, like, and then it means, oh, well, why do they do that? Because then like, the chances of him not surviving is pretty high. And it's like, yeah, if you roll 1 when you do the more Doom Rocket ability, you're destined to die. There's not meant to be an easy way out of that, if at all. Okay, so that was all in the article, and then something else I want to move on to, guys, is now after, you know, looking through all the pictures and all that sort of thing of the article we had yesterday, which was the biggest article, wasn't it, saying about the battle tones and all that sort of thing. I had a look at the Flesh Eater Court War Scroll cards, and I noticed it looks like there's a couple new, and I'm going to say this with a massive, not just pinch, but a fucking truckload of salt. There might be new units for the Flesh Eater Court army. Now, I'm taking that with a massive pinch of salt, but hear me through. And I'd like to say that I've also seen this on Facebook and all that sort of thing, so it's not like I'm the only one seeing this. It has been definitely notified by other people as well. And I'll be putting up a picture. And on the War Scroll cards you've got for the Flesh Eater Court, on the artwork on the front of it, from the photo, I've cropped it and zoomed in, so I apologise if the quality is really bad, but it's just so you guys get see it a bit. Is there is ghouls, so potentially crypt ghouls, I don't know, with, well, they look like crypt ghouls, but they're carrying banners, which crypt ghouls don't usually do. And there is also a massive, I'm not going to call it a corpse cart, it's like a corpse wagon with a lovely brutal dead demon destruction type thing. I mean, it looks even like, I saw someone on Facebook call it a Momfang, sort of, an undead one of those, which I'm not too sure if it's a Momfang, but it is a pretty big beastie. Now, this would be awesome if these models were true. However, I have absolutely no idea. It might just be a cool artwork, which, you know, cool artwork's awesome. However, it feels a bit annoying if they put artwork for, you know, what gives us excited as, you know, new models, and it turns out not to be. But like I say, it might just be artwork, guys. Don't get too excited. However, on this same note, we have got an announcement on Facebook from the Warhammer, like various groups, so the Age of Sigmar one, the 40k one, and the Warhammer TV one, you know, the official Games Workshop ones. They said that there is big news coming at the Las Vegas Open, I believe, which is it this week, something like that, around about that time. And there's going to be a big announcement. And I had a look, and the Age of Sigmar page said there's going to be a big announcement as well. So I presume it's going to be relevant to Age of Sigmar as well. And it could be, you know, new models for Skaven, or the Flesh Eater Courts would be awesome. And also, what gives credence is, if you remember my reaction to the first announcement we got of the Carrion Empire, that video I did, I said that they also put a picture on Facebook, which was talking about the Carrion King, which is, you know, the named Flesh Eater Courts hero who hasn't got a model or anything. It's just mentioned in fluff, and essentially he is the guy who started the Flesh Eater Courts. He is the first delusional vampire, because, you know, Nagash made him go insane by looking him up, all those sorts of things. And they started talking about him and things like that. So they might have just done that as to build a bit of hype for Flesh Eater Courts and getting people, you know, excited for them, going, oh, it gives you ideas for named characters. However, it's going back to him, and the last time they mentioned him, guys, was obviously when the original Flesh Eater Courts Battle Tome came out, which was, I want to say, 2 years ago now, something along those lines. And there was not really much need for them to bring him up again, because this was in the early stages of Age of Sigmar, where they could have easily written him off or something. So now that they're mentioning him again, it makes me feel like there could be a model for him. Now, like I say, obviously, you know, that truck load of assault we had, we definitely need another one coming for when I make that sort of, you know, speculation. But it would be lovely if that was the case, and there could be potentially new models for Flesh Eater Courts in the sense of that, like Corpse Wagon and the Ghouls carrying banners. But it might all just be artwork and nothing more, guys. So don't get too excited by it. And at the same time, going back to the Skaven, when they said there's a big reveal, who knows? It could be something to do with the Skaven. Like I say, I doubt all this, but it's potential. So, you know, like, it's something for us to be excited for and inevitably be, you know, put down out of our misery because it's not going to become true. But if it was true, it would be lovely. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. Yeah, it's just doing the you know, article review and just talking about the potential new units. Like I say, take that with a massive pinch of salt, but it is potential nonetheless. And yep, the Arch region is definitely going to be going to my army. Like I've always said quite a few times, so my favourite army is Flesh Eater Courts. I will say that when I, you know, play, you know, that you have all these YouTubers and stuff who like, you know, tournament winners and all that sort of thing. I'm not a tournament winner. I play this game for fun. The reason I'm in Warhammer is because I love collecting models and building them and all doing conversions and stuff. And then after that, my favourite part is playing, and I like to play competitively. I'm not like a tournament winner or anything like that, but I do my best to play, you know, my army well. Essentially, I'm into tactics and all that sort of thing, and I can say Flesh Eater Courts are the army I know the most inside out. Like I said, I've been doing them for ages, and I can tell you guys, this Arch region is definitely something you're going to want to have in your army with how Flesh Eater Courts play at the moment. And just something that might change with them, because there's the whole sort of like the courtiers allow you to bring back you know, the models if it's within 10 inches of that courtier model, depending on what unit you're trying to bring back, or models for that unit. That's within 10 inches. Now it might become wholly within 10 inches. That's the pain that you're going to need to start running more and more courtiers on the board. So hopefully that's not going to come. Hopefully in this battle tome we're going to get more good things than more worse things, because the Flesh Eater Courts, like, they're not winning tournaments, and they might have won a few tournaments. I don't know. You know, like I don't keep track too much on that. However, they're not winning the majority of tournaments, shall we say. There might be like an exception or something. I mean, I've got like a few times got into like the top 20s at like big like 100 plus people at Warhammer World sort of grand tournaments sort of stuff. I managed to get like in the top 20 with them, which I was, you know, super happy with, and that's like the best I've done with them. So they can be, you know, pretty good, I think. You know, definitely be competitive. I think there's just some matchups they can't do really well against. But I feel like some matchups, when you play against them, they can be really horrendous, and they make it really difficult for the enemy to deal with. So hopefully they're not going to get nerfed for any of those potential reasons. But I don't think they will. I think there's plenty to look forward to in the Flesh Eater Courts. I think they're definitely going to become better, hopefully. Maybe some new models, hopefully. And also the Skaven stuff looks awesome too. The only reason I'm talking about Flesh Eater Courts more than the Skaven is just because I'm more knowledgeable on that. I don't basically want to just bullshit talking about Skaven when I don't really know what I'm talking about. But everything I have said about the Skaven stuff is stuff, my own opinions. So anyway, guys, that is this article, and I look forward to the inevitable articles we're going to have this week. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to do videos for them. I know work is going to be busy this week. I already know that, so hopefully I'll be okay. Hopefully I'll be able to, if not one video a day, hopefully one video every 2 days, but I will try and cover everything, and I can't wait until I can pre-order it this weekend. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and comment down below. I've noticed that loads of you have done this lately, and I can't honestly tell you guys how much that generally helps me. It is honestly what truly makes me and encourages me to continue to make videos, just to know that you guys out there are generally enjoying the content. So thank you very much for doing that, and also the people who've been subscribing from the start. Can't thank you enough. And also, as I'm going to remind you guys, I have got a subscriber giveaway being announced on the 15th of February. There is a video not so long ago how I explained how to get into the subscriber giveaway. Basically, you just got to subscribe and put a comment on that video. So check that out, guys. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And remember, until next time, Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.